Welcome to the lecture series of data structures and algorithms. And in today's class, we will be learning about real life examples of data structures. So now let's start the lecture. So the very first example of data structure is that we see from our day-to-day life is to search meaning of a word in dictionary, right? So there was a time when we had no internet, and at that particular time we used to search the meaning of a word from the given dictionary that we have, and we generally used to prefer Oxford dictionary, if you remember those times, right? So let's say here I have to search a meaning, and that word is, for which I have to find out the meaning, is flabbergasted, right? I hope you have heard this word, but you are not so much sure about the meaning of this word, right? So now let's see how data structure works basically, right? So for that, if I talk about this, I have to, let's say if I have to search the meaning of this particular word, so in dictionary everything is arranged, all the words are arranged in alphabetic order. So first of all, you will have all those words which are starting with A, then the words which are starting with B, then the words that are starting with C, and similarly ending with all the words which are starting with Z, right? So what we will do is, so we have different sections there, right? So we will directly go to that section where we have F. So the first letter of the word is F. So we directly go to the page in that dictionary where F is located, and that you can find out from the index page of the dictionary. So wherever new word starts, it will tell you what is the page number for that word, right? So from let's say if I say the page number is 150, so you'll go to the index and you'll see that this word F is found at 150 location, right? 150 page number. So you will directly go to page number 150. Now again, F has so many words. So F has so many words, then what we will do is we'll see the next letter. What is the next letter? The next letter is L. So now what we will do is we will start searching all the words which are starting with FL, and then we will go to A. So first we'll start with F, then we'll directly switch to FL, and then what will happen is the search space will reduce, right? So you don't have to search so much. Then you will definitely go to A and then B, and you will start searching for the word in this particular order. And what will happen is the moment you see this FALAB, you will directly get this word. So it takes fraction of seconds if you are really good in uh, turning the pages around, right? So in this way you will find the word in the given dictionary, right? And what will happen is after this, so we'll find out that the meaning of this word is surprise someone greatly, right? Or you can say astonish. So you are very happy now because you found out the meaning of the word in the dictionary. But nowadays, if I talk about Google also there what you are doing, you are searching only. But the algorithms there are so fast that you get the results within seconds, right? So searching is basically an application of a data structure, and for that we discuss this example dictionary that we have seen in our day-to-day life, right? Now coming to the next example, that also is very common in everyone's life. So once we have ever in our life we have once visited the library, right? So what do we do there basically? So we have to search some book in the library, right? And let's say now we all are computer science students, right? So we want to search a book of algorithm in library. So what will be the procedure? So there are millions of books in the library. So just randomly searching the book is not going to serve your purpose, because it is going to take months and months to find out that particular book, right? For that what we will do is, first of all, the book that you want to search in on algorithm is Corman, right? So that is the most standard book for algorithm. So you have to search this book in the library. So what you will do? So you know very well that in the library there are different sections, right? So there are hierarchy of different subjects, that is law, biology, commerce, art and literature, science, engineering, fashion, technology, and so on, right? But you are not at all concerned about the other subjects. You are just concerned about engineering because you are an engineering student. So you will just see where that engineering section is located. You can ask an assistant in the library where that engineering location is. So you will directly go to the engineering section, right? After that, what will you do? The first thing is instead of going through all these sections, you will directly go, you will enter the library. Then from the library, while entering the library, you will directly ask an library assistant where the engineering section books are located. So he will point you the direction, and you will straight away go to that engineering section. And from there, what will happen is, that this, you are a computer science student, you know that this book is of computer science. So from engineering section, again, there in an engineering section, there are different sections, right? Where there are different types of engineering. We have computer science engineering, electrical engineering, then we have biomedical engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. But your concern is only computer science engineering. Again, in the engineering branch section, there are so many sections, right? So you are just bothered about the computer science section. And after that, what will you do? Again, in computer science, there are so many books related to networking, then programming, then data structures and algorithm, and then you can say data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, right? So currently you just want to search the book on algorithm, so you will go to which section? Algorithm section, right? And in that algorithm section, you will find out the book. What is that book? Corman. So you found the book, and again, you are very happy. So in our real life, this is also one of the most common example that we have seen. So I personally suggest everyone that when you are studying data structures and algorithms, your approach should be relate everything with the real life. And even while understanding those algorithms, you should even know how to write it by yourself. So just have run the pseudocode and understand how the things are going on, right? So now we have studied in the previous lecture about the different type of data structures. We have linear data structures, and the different examples of linear data structures are stack, queue, and linked list, right? Now what we'll be doing is we'll be studying the different real life examples of these data structures. So the first is stack. So we generally see such piles of utensils being located in the kitchen, or you also see so many plates piled up in a sequence in the marriage halls, right? So what we do there? So as you can see this diagram, if you're trying to take out this mug, let's say if you are trying to take this blue mug first, what will happen? Everything will fall down, and if let's say they are crockeries and of ceramic, then what will happen? All the crockeries will break, right? Similarly here also, if you will try to take out this bowl first, or this green bowl first, then what will happen? The whole structure will disturb and everything will fall, right? So for such kind of data structures, what should be the approach? So we know very well, if I talk about this right pattern, this violet plate was placed first, then this blue one, then this red one, this brown one. So it was this was the first one which was located in this, right? And then this was the second one, this was the third one, and this was the last one, right? So this particular data structure is based on the principle of LIFO, or you can also call it as philo. So what is LIFO? Last in, first out. And what do you mean by that? Last in, first out. What was last in? What was inserted in the last? This mug was inserted in the last. And what will happen? Definitely you will take this out first. So you will take out this first. So the element that was inserted in the last will be taken first, right? So it will be deleted first. So this is the way how we process on stack. And similarly, if I talk about philo, first and last out. And if I talk about this purple plate, it was inserted in the first, right, first location, but it is taken out in the last when all of them will be taken out, right? So this is the approach. And in this particular data structure, if you are disturbing the sequence, then you're not going to serve the purpose. It will not be followed like that, right? Now coming to the next linear data structure, that is queue. And we generally see such queues in our day-to-day life. So when you go to college, in the admin section to pay your fees, there you have to make a line, right? Similarly, you are going to a doctor's clinic, there also you have to make a line, right? And if you are going to watch cinema, there also in the near the cinema theater, you have to make a line. And similarly, if I talk about this example, here we have taken the example of a supermarket where so many people are standing in the queue, right? Now we know that there is an old lady which who is standing behind. But because this particular data structure is based on the principle of FIFO, that is first in, first out. So what does it mean? This was the person, this fat man, uh, you know uh, came into the queue first, and then this long heighted person came second, right? Similarly, this particular lady came third, and this person came fourth, and she came fifth, and she is the sixth one, right? So in queue, it does not serve the purpose like if she is the old lady, then she will get the chance first. That is in a different thing that according to our real life etiquettes and ethics and moral values, you can give the person as first chance. But if I talk about the general thing, what happens is this person will be solved for get the chance first, because he has come to the queue first, right? So in this way, one by one, the person who came first in the queue will get his order served first, right? Then this person came second, so definitely the bill processing of this person will take place at the second position, right? And what about this lady? She is the last. She joined the queue in the last, right? So similarly, her bill processing will take place in the last. So this was the principle of queue, and for that we see real life examples also, right? Now, and also if I talk about students, standing in the prayer hall, right? So now coming to the next linear data structure, that is linked list, right? And I just took this simple example to explain you how does it work. So here in linked list, we have, a node in the linked list. So if I talk about linked list, the single linked list. So this has given the example of, doubly linked list. But if I talk about a single linked list, there is two sections. First is data, and the second is address of this second node, next node, right? So what happens here is we have several nodes connected in such a way that in the first node we place the data, and in this particular section we store the address of the next node. And similarly, if I have second node like that, so in that, this address will be pointing to the second node address, right? And again in that node also there will be some data and address of the given next node. And last node will be not pointing to any node, so there the address will be null. So this was about the logical concept. But coming to the real life example, if I talk about this train, right? So this is the starting bogie of the train, and all of them are attached together. So they are linked to each other, just like linked list, they are also linked to each other. And here we have some handle with the help of which this is attached to this. So because of some connection here, mechanical connection, they are connected, right? So both of them are connected, right? Similarly, this particular bogey's apartment is connected to this apartment, right? And similarly this is connected to this. So every particular, like if I talk about the first apartment, it is storing the connected to the next one is connected to the next one, right? This one is connected to the next one, and the last apartment is not connected to anything. That is why it is not having any kind of dependency on any other particular node. So this was a real life example where you can relate it with the linked list if you have any idea about linked list. Otherwise we will be doing linked list in detail, then you will understand how linked list work. Examples of non-linear data structure is tree and graph. Now let's understand it with the help of examples, real life examples. So the first example is tree. So in our science books, when we were studying in 8th or 7th class, there we studied that the organisms are basically divided into animals and plants, right? And similarly those animals are again divided into invertebrates or vertebrates, and then plants are divided into flowering and non-flowering, right? So what is happening is it is forming the structure of a tree, right? Where this organism is the root, and then this animal and plants are the children of organisms, right? And here these invertebrates and vertebrates are the child nodes of animals, and flowering and non-flowering are the child nodes of plant. And invertebrates, vertebrates, flowering and non-flowering are called as leaf nodes, right? So and organisms, animals and plants are called as internal nodes. But the node which is present at the top is called as a special type of node, which is called as root, right? So such kind of structures we have really understood in our day-to-day life. And since our school time, we have been making such kind of flow charts where we used to divide a bigger section to smaller sections and then subsections. And also one more example for that can be merge sort. I hope you have studied about merge sort. In merge sort also what we do is we have a list, then we'll divide the single list into two lists, then again separately on the two lists we are again dividing those lists into two sections, right? And this way we are keep on dividing the list until unless the number of elements in the list are 1, right? So these two examples, merge sort and this classification of plants and animals, are the real life examples that we have studied in tree, right? Now coming to non-linear data structure, the second type is graph. And we all are having, most of us are having Facebook accounts, and there we all are connected to each other, right, in some or the other way. So we have some specific friends to whom we are connected, but if I talk about other people, we are not connected to them. So if I talk about this particular person, this person is connected to this, and see it is connected to 3 nodes from here. So this is one person, this is another person, and similarly there are so many people in the world, billions and billions of people who have accounts on Facebook, and this person is also connected to some other people, right? So it is not shown in the diagram. So such people, like I talk about every person on Facebook, they are treated as a node in case of a graph. And here if I talk about this edge that is between these two nodes, that is representing the relationship between the two nodes, right? So we have several social media platforms where we are very active, like we know we are connected on Instagram also, Twitter, and we also have Gmail accounts. There also, every Gmail account serves as a node, and there are so many nodes available in the network. So network of network basically represents the example of graph that we all see. And then coming to one of the most fantastic example, I can say, network of neurons. Now in our brain there are millions of neurons, and there what happens is whenever we get any stimulus, then that particular one of the neuron get activated, and that neuron is transmitting the electric charge from this particular neuron to the another neuron, and this, in this way, the information in the brain is transferring from one particular neuron to another neuron, and all these neurons get activated one by one, and in this way the flow of information takes place. So what are these neurons behaving as? Again, if I talk about this neuron, this is one node, you can say, if I relate it with the example of graph, and this is, let's say, another node, let's say another node, this one. So they are connected to each other. It means this neuron is transmitting some information to this neuron, and similarly this neuron is again connected to other neurons, and in this way the flow of information takes place, and this forms a complex network. So in real life, the graphs are very complex in nature, and that you can also understood on one of my video, for which I will provide the link, where you can plot the different graphs. When the number of nodes increases, you can see the complexity of the graph. So I have plotted that in Python, and for that you can actually visualize how we implement networks, or you can say graphs, in real life through implementation, right? So just see that code to have a better understanding about it. So this was all about different examples of data structures in our day-to-day life. And to continue to the next lecture, please wait for my next video. Thank you so much.